89 days in, man. 89 days of sim retention. And I just get luckier and luckier. Like every single day, I'm just luckier. With whatever I do, it seems like luck is just on my side and things just work out, you know? And I keep that positive frame of mind. As long as I keep that positive frame of mind, I attract everything that I want. Yesterday I was trading and maybe I was down a little bit at like maybe 150 bucks, right? But I knew the outcome and I was so detached from what the outcome was. I was like, okay, whatever happens here happens, but I know what's about to happen. We're about to make some money, right? So then, I held on to it and overall made $1,000. So anything, as long as I keep my positive state of mind, just is like will work out. As long as I truly believe that it will, then it will. And that's just it. And that may seem like a luck or a fluke or whatever, but it's not. Or even if it is, I can control that luck. It's not a fluke, but maybe it is lucky. I'm more lucky, right? So let me control that luck. Let me make sure I'm in a lucky situation at all times. And as long as I keep my positive state of mind, I'll just be luckier and luckier and luckier as the days go on. If I was in a depleted state while trading yesterday, man, I would have lost all my money. And I would have been freaking out and, all this stuff. I didn't care. I'm so detached. I don't care at all about, the outcome of anything. I know what's to come, but I don't need it. I don't need anything. I'm just happy with who I am becoming on the inside. And that's all I need. That's all you ever need in order to actually progress in life. That's when you start to progress in life. When you realize that you don't need anything, but then you can effortlessly attract it because, why not? It's always a thing why not? I don't need this fancy car, but why not? Why not? Let's do it. I don't need this crazy crib, but why not? So then as you get further along this journey, if you're doing this journey too, there will come a day where you start to realize that you just are luckier. The first, 30, 60 days, that was the reload. That was the, getting the plan together. And I've just been knowing the plan for the last month now. And just straight execution. Day after day after day. You're still going to have to put in a lot of work, a lot of hours, a lot of pain, a lot of suffering. But it won't all be for nothing. Because you already know the outcome. You already feel it within your heart. You already thought about it, day after day, yeah, I'm ready for it, And then whenever it comes, it comes. And then having that mentality is the very thing that attracts it. If you just need it all the time and want it, I need it. I need to have $1 million. I need this, I need that. You start to scramble. You start to, the universe isn't going to respond to you in the right ways. And then a lot of people will be like, what is this guy talking about? The universe, this, that. It's all very real. It's all very real. Just look up the research behind it. It's all backed by science, by physics, by quantum physics. All of that. It's all backed up by it. So manifestation is very real. It's what we do on a day-to-day basis. But that's why most people's lives suck. Because they manifest the wrong things. They think about all the time, all the negative things. And then negative things, surely happen to them. And that makes them more negative. More and more negative. You have to stay in a positive state of mind. And semen retention will just help aid you within that. It'll help you be more balanced, be more in that positive state of mind, and be able to attract whatever you want. Otherwise, you're going to be negative all the time. And then you're going to be just spinning in the cycle of misery, day after day after day, and things are not going to get better. You can't just hope that things are going to get better and then take no action on it. You have to become the type of person that makes it happen no matter what. Make it happen, Attract that luck to you by doing the right things, by doing the necessary steps in order to get there. If you just say want $1 million, but you don't have any sort of plan to get there, you're just hoping. That's just a blind hope. You might as well not do that and be happy with your situation. You'll be way better off. Instead, you're going to be negative on yourself because things are just not working out because you don't even have a plan in the first place. And a lot of people can do this without semen retention, but there's going to be so much more friction, number one, or number two, they're going to have to do it in a more evil way. They're going to have to use drugs or alcohol or things like that in order to get ahead. Just deviant things. But you can do this in a pure way, and then there's no consequences on the other side. Like, you can do it with all the friction in the world. Okay, how I see it is, you can do it the hard way, which is semen retention and fasting and all that good stuff. And then it'll make the journey and the process much more easy. Or you can do it the easy way on drugs and this and maybe gambling stuff and all this stuff, right? But it will make your life overall way harder. Like, it'll make it some sort of hell. Even if you get everything you thought you wanted, it'll still make your life hell. So this is just a proper way to actually execute what you want to do, how you want to build your character. And then you just become that. You just truly metamorphosize and transform into that. Like, I don't care about money. I don't care about anything. I'm so detached from the outcome of just everything. But I know what's to come. That's why I'm so detached. Because in my mind, I'm already there. Like, I don't need anything. I already have everything I want. That's it. I'm happy. I'm grateful. And then so whatever happens from this point on, happens. But I believe it already all happened. Maybe a lot of us are already dead. You ever think of that? Maybe a lot of us are already dead. We're just reliving memories. Because time goes by very quick. And for a lot of your life, you can't remember, the insignificant things, the autopiloted things. You don't remember specifically what you did 2 weeks ago, what you ate for breakfast, unless you're tracking it every day. But you can't specifically remember things like that. But you remember the good pieces. So maybe this is just a highlight reel after death. Maybe we're just reliving the good pieces of our lives. Maybe that's what it is. So if you already know how your story goes, why would you not, do all the actions necessary in order to get there? If you knew and you were guaranteed the outcome of, oh yeah, you'll be successful if you do this, why wouldn't you do it? And as long as you have that mindset, you will get there inevitably. You will. If you already believe that, like, that's how your movie goes, that's how your story goes, and you're on semen retention, then that's how it's going to go. Don't be fooled. That's how it works. That's how you actually start to attract everything you ever wanted. And every day I feel really good. Like, I feel very at peace in an odd way. Like, I haven't been this at peace in such a long time. Like, right now, currently, I'm in a trade as well. But I could care less. Like, I'll look back at it later. It's a pretty substantial amount that I'm in for. But if I quote-unquote lose, Money, whatever. Who cares? It's just money. It'll come right back to me. So you can't be so caught up in the outcome of anything. You know, you go through a breakup, you can't be all caught up in that. You got to get over that as quick as you possibly can. I know, like, these things are easier said than done. Everything's super tough. Everything's easy in theory, but tough in actually doing it. That's why most people don't. Most people will never experience this. Most people will never go for 90 days. They'll just write it off without even trying. People won't even try something that is completely free, that can maybe have a benefit to your life. Like, people just don't want to try anymore. Everyone has given up. Everyone has a sour outlook on life. When you should be fired up, you should be real grateful that you are still here. You still have the opportunity to thrive. You live in America, man. For most of you watching this, you live in America. I mean, I do. You can make anything happen. You know, a lot of people think that we don't have all this opportunity, and, you know, it was way better back then, you know, back in the days, everything's inflated and all this. Yeah, but they also didn't have the internet. So it's like a very give and take thing. They didn't have Bitcoin in 2016. They didn't have things like that. They didn't have a lot of financial education all over the internet, where you can take advantage of all of that now. If you just invest early enough, even little amounts, you can have millions of dollars by not even putting in too much more effort and actually controlling your spending. But as long as you're able to resist temptation within this life, you can achieve anything. Resist temptation, keep that positive state of mind. You know, do not be afraid of anything. Be courageous. And that's it. Like, you'll conquer yourself. You do the things you have to do. You'll do everything required of you in order to win. And that's it. That's all life is about. Just trying to become a better version of you. Not about money, not about this, that. Could be about family. Depends on your goals. But it's about you, though. And what you're able to build from within. And then what you're able to do once you build from within. You know, if you're capable now of making a bunch of money to help the people around you, that's great. If you're able to, you know, get a lot of just power now, because that's what you always wanted to do, that's great. You know, whatever you want to do with this, you can. And now you have all the creative energy in the world unlocked. Once you get into, you know, doing semen retention. This journey has taught me a lot about myself. And it's also teaching me to just be quicker, you know? Use speed to my advantage. Use time and speed to my advantage. Just go quicker, go harder, and make things shake. Like, you'll make it work. You know, speed plus luck equals success. You can't keep waiting around on your opportunity. The opportunity is not going to come if you just keep waiting around. You have to just go for it. Whatever it is, whatever your dream is, just go for it. You're not going to lose anything from it. What's the worst that happens? Tell me, what's the worst that happens? You got to go back to a 9-to-5 job? You were doing that anyways. Like, really think about it. You were doing that anyways. So that's the worst case scenario. You're in the worst case scenario right now then. So try to do everything to change that. And use all the tools that you have. And semen retention is the greatest tool that you can use to have everything on your side. To have the algorithm of life on your side. You will see through my entire journey what I'm talking about. And everything just come into fruition with time. You know, time and persistence will defeat all, you know? And a lot of people will think that, a lot of people won't see the vision from the start, but you just have to ignore them. You have to just not care and know that you're on your way. As long as you truly know that you're on the way, You'll be all right. And you'll only be able to keep that positive state of mind if you're doing all the necessary actions and giving every day your all. That's how you know you're going to win. That's how you'll be sure that you win. Otherwise, once you have that doubt and you start to fear all the time, that's when you lose, man. That's when you lose. You have to realize the only thing you can really lose is your character. Your character is the only thing that you can lose. If you lose that, you're going to have to do a lot to, gain it back or create a new one, because you don't want to lose that. That's you. Your soul never dies. Your body dies eventually, but not your soul. So while you're on this earth, fulfill your soul. Whatever you want to do, fulfill it. Fulfill your soul and become the person you were always meant to become. Why can't you do it? Why do you doubt yourself? Because you lie to yourself and you tell yourself that you'll do this tomorrow. No, just to start everything today. Little by little, you'll be able to, change your life. Within years and years and years down the road, you'll start to change your life. And that sounds like a long time, and that's why most people get discouraged. But that time is going to go by regardless, so you might as well make the best of it. Especially if you messed up a lot in your life. I've messed up everything in my life. Everything. Like everything you could think of. Ever. I've fucked it all up. But if I just, gave up overall for the rest of my life, who would I be? I'd be miserable. There'd be no point. I'd be a dead man walking for years and years and years. Or I can make a decision to get back up and just get on going again. Get that fire in me again and just give it my all. And that's what I've been doing for the past year or two. I grinded out a 9 to 5, 60, 70 hours a week for a year and a half. Really grinded it out to get myself out of my bad situation. I swallowed my pride, went back to a 9 to 5. I had a business before this and it failed. And I had to be a man and say, you know what? It's time to go back to the 9 to 5. I got to just restart, because that's going to push me so much further ahead. And I was right, because I saw the vision and I believed in myself. And now with Semen retention on my side, now I'm truly unstoppable. And this is only the beginning. Almost 90 days in, and this is only the beginning. Once I'm a year in, you'll see that everything I've been talking about in these videos has came to fruition. I'm telling you right now. Because the luck just keeps on coming and just gets quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker. I love you guys like always. I'm out. Peace.